All right, so we're going to go to the sucker punch defense. This is one of the most important defenses you're going to learn because it's one of the most common attacks there is. Okay. So as before, I talked about if he thinks that there's any threat, his hand should be up. There's only two kinds of attacks standing. There's surprise attacks, and there's attacks that you are aware are coming. So what I mean by that, we're out here fighting. He's aware when I hit him. But if we're just arguing a little bit and I just go to swing, he's not necessarily aware. Now, the mistake a lot of people think is they go, there's aware and there's completely unaware. It's not black or white. Right? He might not be aware that I want to hit him, but he might be uncomfortable. I might be a little bit aggressive, maybe a little close. He knows enough to keep his hands up. He doesn't necessarily know that I'm going to punch him as much as if I was doing this. That's a different ballgame. So there's, surprise, complete surprise where you just don't even know somebody's going to hit you. But if we're arguing and things and he has any, yeah, he's going to have his hands up. And again, his hands are together because this only has to worry about two planes of attack. His hands are open. He has to worry about this, straight up the middle, and this. Now he has a whole extra lane he has to deal with. So his hands are here. Now, what he's not going to do is try to do a karate block here. Okay? For one thing, he goes here. Now he's going to defend this one. Or if he tries to block and it's a really powerful punch, that's not going to stop. That's not going to stop the punch. Okay? That's kind of fancy because this is a right angle, means it's his tricep trying to hold on the speed and power that's already built up in my arm. Okay? So what he wants to do is block both arms with a very strong structure. So when I throw, he's going to come forward. His arms are going to be just a little bit bent, just barely bent. And he's blocking with his forearm, not his hand. Don't do this. It'll break your hand. Plus, your hand is this big. Trying to find where my arm is going to be very difficult. But if he blocks with his forearm, and then his hand drops behind. So it makes a hook. So that way if I throw the punch, and I try to pull back, he's got control of it. He's not putting his hands down. He's not throwing his hands out. His hands are going to come straight forward like he's swimming into my punch. Here and out. Okay. So we're here. Notice he goes with both arms. That way he doesn't have to worry about this arm. Okay. Now, the thing I see a lot is people do this. They throw like this, where their arms are very bent in, their head is very close. Right now, I'm going to get hit. And this is also, this is a very weak structure here. Even though I'm trying to put my head in. Now this is going to be very hard to defend. Okay. So if I throw really hard and he does it the correct way, when he keeps his arms bent, I don't even throw that hard. It's not here. Okay, so don't do this. This is now your tricep. Same as this is no different than this. Okay, when he throws, yeah. But if I go like this, yeah. Not to mention this, look how close your hand is to my face. On my head. Here. Okay, so when he throws, look. My head is back. It's not here. So, once he does this, now both hands clamp so I can't pull back and go for another attack. Notice he can step forward, but don't lean forward. Okay. He steps forward, he jams the punch. Okay. Now, what he's going to do is just lift his elbow and wrap it over. And he goes, pinches my wrist and his armpit, and his hand holds my tricep. What he's not going to do is wrap over like this, because now I'm going to be able to pull my arm out. The motion is just here. You just lift your elbow, pinch, hand slides and holds. So now he tries to pull the arm out. It's locked in. I go like this. It's out. So his hands are here. Go. He wraps. Now this hand is going to pummel under as he steps to that side. He still has my arm very tight. His forehead is in my neck. He's looking at me. He's not looking over here. He hasn't got his head down in front where I can start pushing and framing. He's right here. My posture is broken. So we're arguing a little bit. If I start doing this, he should be pretty well aware of what I'm about to do. Okay, so when I throw, he wraps, he steps under, he controls. Now from here, depending, he can step in front for the hip throw. Open my base, he can do the leg hook. Then I keep my posture upright with the step in front body fold. So from this angle, we're arguing a little bit. Again, this isn't I'm out here. That's not a sucker punch. A sucker punch, by definition, is a surprise. We're arguing a little bit, and I try to hit him, and we're right here. Okay. So that's our sucker punch defense. You need to practice that as much or more than any technique in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. This has to be practiced until you can do it in your sleep.